It's that time again. It's that time again. All right. So, good people, today, the little thing that we'll actually be discussing, it's about blockchain and crypto and tokens and all that stuff, you know. So, you know that the crypto space, the crypto market is currently down for quite some time now, more especially in year 2022. If you remember very well, we have a situation coming this month on the 22nd. That will be an Ethereum match that I will explain shortly, and then explain in terms of what to expect moving forward. But today, let us talk a little bit about blacks banking on blockchain, how to actually to manage and own your bank through blockchain. All right. So some of you will actually need explanation so that they understand what is a blockchain, what is cryptocurrencies, and all that stuff. Remember, there have been so many scams that have been going around on the social media about Bitcoin, crypto, and there's too much scams. I must really enlighten you about that. You know, when people actually inbox you and say, yeah, you can earn weekly on cryptocurrencies, that's a scam. That's a scam. There's nothing like that. There's no such. There's no way you can be earning a certain percentage every Friday. And in terms of cryptocurrency, you do not need to be recruited. You can do your own thing in your own app, all right? Technology allows you to do that, all right? So there have been so many scams around these areas. So it's important to be able to do things yourself and to get the right information, all right? So 4 years ago, I went to the University of Pretoria to do a short course on visual currencies and Bitcoin. And then 2 years after that, I also did a short course on blockchain that was offered by University of Cape Town, so that we actually get the right information. And when we analyze the market through many media space, we also mention the right information that is actually empowering. So I'd like to welcome you in this morning just for 10 minutes where we discuss a few things. Blacks banking on blockchain. All right, some of you will ask, what is actually blockchain? All right, blockchain is it's a high-powered technology. It's a progression of technology as we know it. So it actually works in any space. There can be blockchain in agriculture. There can be blockchain in retail, blockchain in finances, blockchain in every space or every industry. The blockchain technology applies or can be integrated. Do you understand? So the blockchain actually remove the middleman in every space. So when you talk about blockchain in agriculture, that means you can deal directly with the producer, and the producer can deal directly with the consumers one way or the other, without the middleman, without the supermarket, without any other thing. Through blockchain, you can buy items straight from the field. You understand? You can even pick and choose the veggies and the line that you want, the harvest that you are actually buying. So the blockchain actually eliminates the middleman. You understand? That's what it does. So if you have a product, you can just take your product directly to the market without any middleman in any space. It can also work in the mining, whereby people can actually have resources that they can distribute all across. All right. So the blockchain market is just not regulated. It's a new market. Obviously, with a market that is not necessarily regulated, there will be those nitty-gritties, there will be those pitfalls along the way. But blockchain space, cryptocurrency space is actually independent of the government regulation, is actually independent of the banking sector and all other things. That is why we say through crypto space, you can actually have your own bank where you have your money and you manage it in your wallet. You can make payment directly from your wallet to the service provider without wiring through the banks. So that is the beauty about this technology that we all need to understand. But let me take you back for a minute and remind you that when you talk about money and the revolution in terms of how the money is actually changing, if you remember what we actually called the first revolution in terms of money transformation, it started from what we called the bartering system. If you remember the bartering system, everyone was actually exchanging or trading with the other person through the system of exchange. It can be exchange of goods and services. It can be exchange of any other source. Meaning that if I have chickens and you have vegetables that I want, and you also want some chickens from my side, we can agree and exchange. That if you give me 2 chickens, you will give me cabbage, you will give me potatoes and carrot. Then that is the agreement of exchange. That was how we used to exchange. That was the first revolution. The second one was more like gold. You know, when these people and the settlers were actually doing the trade and exchange with the countries and so forth. That was how it started, when the countries were bartering with each other. You know, Indians with spices, Japan, Portuguese with the other material and all that stuff. So there was this exodus that was actually happening, where people can move from one continent to the other, looking for means of exchange. All right, so that's one of those few things. They were actually transporting the stock. That is why we eventually had the stock market, but we'll talk about that some other time. So the second revolution was more like gold. You understand, the resources, the commodities. You know, if you have some limited resource that was that would carry value because of those limited resources. So that is why we saw our forefathers moving from all other places so that they also go and work in the mines and all that stuff. So gold became a standard of value from the second revolution and so forth. You know, that is why people were moving all around these other continents to actually take advantage of Africa, because Africa is so resourceful. One of the richest continents and the biggest continents in the world is Africa. When you see it on the map, it's so small, but it's one of the biggest continents across. It is Africa, and Africa is a very rich continent in terms of resources, in terms of everything, even in terms of skills, in terms, when you look at medical supplies, every other thing. We are rich in agriculture, we are rich in gold, we are rich in minerals, we are rich in commodities, we are rich in skills, we are rich in labor, yet we are poor. But how can blacks bank on blockchain so that they'll be able to win and prosper? That's one of the few things that I will actually mention in the next few minutes. That's one of the few things you need to understand. All right, but before I mention that, the third revolution was actually the internet. Remember, in terms of internet is an economic tool. It's not something for sending emails, accessing WhatsApp, and Googling porn. No. Internet is actually a tool for economic revolution. It's actually a tool to make money. That is why all these internet companies, e-commerce, all these other platforms are multi-trillion-dollar platforms now. When we talk about social media, that's a tool of making money. When we talk about platforms and the apps and the applications and so on, those are the tools of making money. That's what you need to understand. You cannot participate in social media for 10 years. You are not making money. Like, you are really wasting time. Social media, internet is for making money, is the economic tool. You need to understand that it saves time. It also revolutionizes the opportunity to make money and get rich in the process. That's one of the few things you need to understand. We are not here to rehearse. This is the life, the only life we have. We are living here. So don't come over the internet and play and waste time. Learn something every day, man. All right, that's one of the few things you need to understand. Internet is an economic tool. It is so resourceful. Yet, only thing you are looking for is the bombs. No, my guy. You cannot do that. There is ching-ching in the internet. All right, that is why even your employer pay you through the internet resources, pay you through the lines. You no longer receive payment through your hand or through the envelope. So it's all wired via the internet. So that's one of the few things you need to understand. And no one owns the internet. No one controls the internet. It's an open source platform for everyone to use and thrive. That's one of the few things that you need to understand. So around 1971, internet revolution started strongly. And then the Americans moved the the gold and replace it with the dollar, and then the dollar become a dollar standard. And that's one of those few things that you actually need to understand. All right, I hope we are still clear on that regard. And then the internet started to boom. That is where we see the World Wide Webs. We see the Google internet search engine is starting up. You see computing, Apple's moving from expanding to music to every other thing you can think of. Because of what? Because of this technology that we actually use now. So if you have a smartphone, you must not and never be broke. And after listening to this, you will never be broke another day in your life. And I'm telling you, and I'm commanding you that you must listen and do the right thing. It all depends on here, on your mentality. It's on here, on your hand. So use it wisely so that you actually empower yourself one way or the other. That's one of the few things that I am actually challenging you. I am actually encouraging you that do your research. Use the internet. Check what is blockchain, all right? Because currently, only short course that you can get on the University of Cape Town and the University of Pretoria around the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Those are two universities that are offering short course for now. So all other information you can also use internet to actually empower yourself, to grow yourself one way or the other. So that's one of the few things that you actually need to understand. And then softwares, you need to understand that the crypto and tokens are actually softwares, are actually softwares. So I've mentioned 11 with an exception of Bitcoin, obviously. All of you, they know that Bitcoin is actually a digital currency which operates free of any central control. It is decentralized. That's what you need to understand. It's a peer-to-peer payment system, meaning that when I send you a payment in Tandenim Joker, all right, I will simply send you a payment without using your bank account. So I'm sending it directly to you using what we call the public keys. That's one of the few important things you need to understand, all right? So that's how you actually need to learn how to bank on blockchain for your prosperity, even in the next long term, because the money is changing. So internet was the third revolution, and then the fourth one is the blockchain. All right, the fourth one is the blockchain. Everything now is on the internet. Everything is on the power of the blockchain. When you talk about the internet of blockchain, that is lightning, the fastest internet in the world. You understand? So meaning that when I send you a payment, wherever you are across the world, you will receive it immediately. All right? You will, without paying the fees that we pay. When I send money to rands, rands to dollars, it may take like 2 weeks for someone who is in America to receive it. When I'm sending it via yuan to China, it may take like more than 2 weeks. But when you send it via blockchain, immediately you receive it. So that is the speed, all right? Because money loves speed. You need to understand that money loves speed. That is the era we are living in. And that era is independent from the government. I know South Africans are so dependent on the government about everything, about the way they actually legislate their homes. They are now waiting for the government to tell them how to raise their kids. They are now waiting. Everything, people are waiting on the government. And the government is also waiting to tax you. So you are waiting on them. They are also waiting on you. You are depending on them. They are also depending on your tax money. So good people, government is there to regulate and create a conducive space for citizens to prosper. But that welfare and dependence mentality must actually end. That's one of the few things you need to understand. And the blockchain and the tokens are there to transform that narrative. So if you are able to have an open understanding, a teachable spirit, you can learn one or two from this broadcast. I hope you understand that. So the Ethereum, on the 22nd of September, the Ethereum will be merging, Ethereum merge, all right? So what will be happening? We will see Ethereum moving from the proof of work to the proof of stake, meaning that it will be more environmental friendly without consuming much of power and so forth. That alone is a positive for Ethereum. And you need to understand that Ethereum is actually a programming language. It's a software that you can use to build other software on top of it. All right. So if you understand the Windows is actually privately owned by Bill Gates and the shareholders of Microsoft. But it's the same thing. It's just a software, all right? And it's a currency. Windows is actually a currency. Airtime is actually a currency. Prepaid electricity is actually money. But some of you, they do not understand that currency is just numbers, all right? It's just 10 numbers, 1 up to 0. That is what we call money in nowadays, all right? Paper. And we are doing away with paper. We'll be a cashless society very soon. So you need to understand that Ethereum is a blockchain currency, and it is a decentralized public ledger that you can use to verify and record different transactions. That's one of the few things you need to understand. And very soon, the Ripple case with SEC is also coming to an end very soon. And I can tell you that the XRP Ripple will win the case against the Securities Exchange Council in the US. That's one of the few things you need to understand. And Ethereum is more, the Ripple is more like the Visa and the MasterCard of a blockchain. Is the technology mainly known for digital payment network and protocol. So that's what you need to understand. And I can tell you, companies like Visa and MasterCard are also invested in Ripple. I can tell you. But I cannot tell you. Today I can tell you even the one of the biggest bank that own a chunk and the biggest ownership in terms of Bitcoin. All right. I won't mention the bank because when I say it's a bank that is blue, you will actually say, hey, this bank. No. I won't mention the name of the bank. That's one of the few things you need to understand. All right. So another one that you need to check that will actually moon over the long term, when you talk about the long term in the next 2 to 3 years, is actually Solana. Solana is also a decentralized blockchain that actually enables the scalability, user-friendly app. These are all apps. Remember, app is an application, all right? App is what? It's an application, and it is indeed a fast-growing ecosystem in crypto. That is what Solana. So you must also check that one. And for now, it's still very much discounted. Remember, when you talk about cryptocurrencies, we are usually talking about softwares, and we use softwares, we use apps, what we call application. That's what we use every time. Some of you will remember, as much as in 2002, I started in the field of insurance industry, but I also have an IT qualification, all right? Amongst the 7 qualifications I have, I also have an IT, and I work in an IT space. Just that my calling was more on an investment space. That is why I furthered my studies through wealth management, through financial markets, and many other spaces in terms of property and investing wealth. But that's one of the few things that you actually need to understand going forward. You need to understand what each and every token in a coin provide as a solution, meaning as a unique solution. That's one of those few things you need to understand. And then Dogecoin. All right, Dogecoin is also expanding into what we call the Metaverse world. So if you understand the non-fungible tokens and the Metaverse, probably we'll have another broadcast about it in the near future. But you need to understand that Dogecoin is also a cryptocurrency, meme coin that runs also on the blockchain technology. It is a distributed digital ledger that stores all transactions that are decentralized. That's one of the few things you need to understand. And it's also expanding into what? It's also expanding into the metaverse. So when you understand the metaverse space, that is where you will actually be buying from the comfort of your home, but digitally you will be wearing goggles that will actually take you inside the shop. All right, you are inside the shop, seeing everything that is currently there. That is called visual reality. So you can actually pick and check the items sitting from the comfort of your home, but visually you are inside a certain mall and so forth. So that is a beautiful thing about blockchain. You will even have a digital wife or a digital girlfriend that you can simply socialize with. You know, someone who doesn't have an emotion, a robot sort of like. So that is the beautiful world we are actually living in. Some of you, they are thinking in the near future. No, we are talking about the now. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, people didn't know anything about TikTok, but it came and it took world by the storm. So that's one of the few things about technology you need to understand. It is actually transforming the way we lead and the way we make money. Another one that you need to understand is the Shiba Inu. All right, it's a token that is actually created on the Ethereum platform by an anonymous individual in the 2020. It's still cheaper. With 200 Rand, you can get 1 million Shiba Inus. You know, there are scams that are moving around saying you pay 900, you will get 100 Shiba Inu. Nonsense. Futsaki. You must get the right information, invest in investigating before you invest. Shiba Inu is not even a half cent. All right, how can you pay 900 and people are saying you will get 100 Shiba Inu? That's nonsense. Guys, invest in learning. Do not be the victim of scams that are going around in the crypto space. You must investigate before you invest. That's one of the few things that you actually need to understand going forward. So those are the few of the crypto space that you need to understand, and they will actually do what moon explode in the near few months. The other one I mentioned is actually Matic. Polygon is actually a scaling solution that you need to understand that aim to provide multiple tools to improve the speed and the scalability in terms of transaction on a blockchain network. You understand? So that's one of the few things you need to understand. These are all softwares that you need to know what is it that they provide. Algorand, it's another beautiful one. It's a 3D visual decentralized platform. It's also used by central banks, the thing that we called CBDC, central banks digital currencies. You know, very soon we'll have a digital rand. All right, the Reserve Bank is working on that project. Digital dollar, digital yuan, digital euro, all those systems, they actually work on Algorand. Algorand is actually a software that is enabling those systems. When you see China banning Bitcoin mining and all those things, it's simply because they are actually introducing their digital currency and all that stuff. That's one of the few things that you actually need to understand. So it actually, Algorand is built to solve what we call blockchain trilemma in terms of achieving speed, security, and decentralization simultaneously. That's one of those few things that I actually need you to understand going forward. The Mana, Decentraland. Decentraland is actually the Metaverse platform where you can buy a digital house. You know, you can have a digital home, a digital house, or a building that is digital, all right? You can have a 3-bedroom house that is simply visual and digital. You cannot live in it, but you can make money through it, all right? So some of you, when they can go online, they can actually check what we call Snoop. Snoop is also very much invested in the Metaverse. That's one of those few things that you actually need to understand. All right, so everything that I have on the Metaverse, if I want to put adverts, if I want to put designs, and everyone else is interested in buying those designs, then I make money out of it, and then they can use that. If ever you're an architect, you can do a digital plan, 3D digital plan, post it on the Decentraland. Anyone interested in buying your plan will actually pay you. If ever you have like pictures, old pictures that are unique to your culture, you can make money on the Metaverse. You know, there's this Ndebele old lady. What is the name of that old lady? You know, she's very artistic, all right? I forgot, but she used the Ndebele colors and those artistic things. I forgot her name. But that lady, through that artwork, through your culture, through Makosa, through the Zulu culture things, the Sutu, what do you call that head? All those things you can use on the Metaverse to make money. Digitalize all those things and use it on the Metaverse, man. That's easy, man. It's what we call crazy money. All right, we just need that. Yes, Esther. Thank you, TJ. It's Esther Maham. Yes, that's the right lady. Right there. Good people. That is why I'm saying blacks capitalizing on the new economic movement that is taking place on the blockchain. That's one of the few, because Africa and our cultures are rich, if you understand what I mean. All right, and I'm inviting you, good people. Some of the things that we are learning, very soon they will be irrelevant. All right, they will actually be redundant. They will have no space in the near future. So that is why you must equip yourself with the skills of the future. All right. The way Department of Education is so slow in terms of transforming education, you need to use internet and the blockchain to transform yourself. Learn every day. We do not absorb education only from tertiary. We absorb it from internet now. So if you understand the internet space, if you understand the blockchain space, you will actually depend to no one. I'm telling you, you are smart enough. You just need to remove those goggles that makes you to focus on something that is not even relevant as we speak. All right, because some of the information we graduate, we come with the old information that has no markets. That is why we must never stop learning. We must keep on learning, use platforms that are available on the internet to learn and learn. Some of you are learning something from this broadcast already, something new that you haven't had like the proper knowledge about it, but in this 15 minutes you are learning one way or the other. That's what we are actually talking about when we talk about use internet to learn something every day. All right, there are so many others that I can explain, but because of time, these are the few that I've actually made mention of. Not forgetting the avalanche, not forgetting the internet computer, and many others. All right, but what I always say to people is that focus on the at least top 100 that are performing well in terms of market capital. All right, so those are the few that you actually need to understand. Okay, so I hope there are a few things that you've learned today, and we will continue with the broadcast Friday morning. And the others are asking which platforms can we use, which platforms that are actually credible that we can use to actually source and buy all these things. You must actually check on those ones. But good people, on the 3rd of October, we will be bringing you a very dynamic sessions, because sometimes we can talk and talk, but if we are not bringing it practically so that you know and how to do it on your own, then we are not actually empowering, we are not actually enriching. So the most important thing is that we transfer those skills. All right, and the way we transfer those skills is actually to do it with you. That is why on the 3rd of October, we will actually be bringing back what we call the 1% daily profit strategy through the financial markets. All right, so we'll be showing you some tricks, some skills in terms of you to understand how you can benefit from financial markets, because day and night money never sleeps. Monday to Sunday money is moving, and through that flow of currencies and money, they will stand a benefit, because they go up and down. You need to understand what you can actually, how you can actually benefit from those movement and those currency flows and cash flows as the money move from one country to the other as a means of what we call the exchange. You need to understand how you go about benefit. So on the 3rd of October, we'll be starting that program that will be going for like 6 months. And the only thing that we are actually teaching you is to how to at least extract 1% based on your capital from the financial market, from the indices market, from the shares market, from the currency perspective market. That's one of the few things. And we actually invite you to actually become a part of that session, because it's going to be 100% online in the afternoons. And physically, it's going to be in Durban, but in the afternoons, it's going to be 100% online. Remember, we have offices in Durban. Excuse me, now we have also offices in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. If ever you want us to help you to open a portfolio on crypto space, on the tokens and every other thing, and then you can actually make a consultation, and then we'll be able to help you open a portfolio in terms of blockchain and crypto. We can also do it online. We can assist you. You can make a appointment, come to our offices. You can also come to our Durban office. And our Johannesburg number, let me give it to you quickly, is 010 005 4573. That one is for our Johannesburg Braamfontein office, 010 005 4573. I'll also put it on the comment section. And then our WhatsApp number that you can also use to engage us is 076-810-0953. 076-810-0953. That is our WhatsApp number. We've got 2 WhatsApp numbers, and the second one is 078-989 7552. 078-989-7552. You can also give me a call on that number, then we'll be able to assist you. And our Durban office number is a 031 023 0470. 031 023 0470. You can also ask to speak to Nontogozo, or you can ask to speak to Kanyiso. Those are my team leaders. They will be able to assist you and enrich you and empower you. If this broadcast is one way or the other empowering, please on the comment section give us some feedbacks. And the last thing I request that you do is to share. All right, share it to different groups, share it in your own platform, and then give us a comment and suggest other topics that you may like us to teach you about. Other than that, God bless you. Thank you for joining us, and have a fantastic, wealthy Wednesday. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.